What's up, guys? Welcome to SLC Puck, the watch party. We are back at a bar named Sioux, April 14th, 6 p.m. Utah taking on Nashville. What better place to take in the game than a bar named Sioux on Highland Drive? Let me show you what we got going on. If you love good food and drinks, you're going to love a bar named Sioux here on Highland Drive. I mean, check this out. We got the Sloppy Sioux, a Sloppy Joe with a little spin on it, some cheese sauce. The onion rings look delicious. And hey, if you need something to wash it down, a couple of great options for you. We've got the Power Play cocktail. This is an SLC Puck watch party exclusive drink. It's got vodka, rum, pineapple juice, blue curacao, a shot of lemonade. Very, very good. If you're a beer person, we've got the official beer of the Utah Hockey Club, Street Cart by Golden Road. Super, super good. If you're hungry or thirsty and you want to see some great hockey, you got to be here. If you were here last time, you know we did a ton of giveaways from that stage with Johnny Cash giving us the finger right there. We're going to have a lot more giveaways as well. Tons of great stuff. I can't wait to just give it all away like Oprah. So when you walk in, make sure you grab your ticket. I'll throw the other half in the bucket, give it a good spin with my hand, and give away lots of good stuff to lots of great people here. And if you're here, I'm guessing you're a big sports fan. One of our big giveaways for this one is going to be a pair of tickets to see Real Salt Lake. It's a great summertime activity. Get you out in the open air, some sunshine, so make sure you're here for that. Bar named Sioux's. It's a great place to come any day of the week, but especially Monday, April 14th, 6 p.m., SLC Puck Watch Party, Utah versus Nashville. Giveaways, drinks, food, games, a good time. So make sure you're here. We'll see you there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to SLC Puck. I'm your host, Austin Facer. It is so nice to be with you on Sunday afternoon. It's around 5:03 on Sunday, April 6, 2025. We are getting extremely close, under 10 days now, to the anniversary. The 1-year birthday anniversary celebration of SLC Puck is on the way. We did the first episode ever of SLC Puck on April 15th, 2024. It was in a different basement. We've elevated to this basement. It's a lot better. It's perfectly suited for SLC Puck. And we're on episode 97 today of SLC Puck. So super, super delighted to be with you guys again. It's really nice outside. You got to get out, go for a walk, have some fun. Stay in and listen to me really quick, though. I know you've probably been inside listening to the general conference all weekend. I hope that was edifying. I hope this will be uplifting in a different way. Maybe perhaps a bit more fun, right? That's kind of the point. I do see myself as somewhat of like an apostolic figure, I guess you could say, when it comes to hockey. I just made my mom roll her eyes so hard at me. But thank you for joining me on SLC Puck, Utah's favorite hockey podcast. Really quick, we got some big announcements here. First of all, tremendous thank you goes out to everybody who helped me get to the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. Woo! That felt good. That was a fun accomplishment. You can see I have the 1K balloons behind me. I've got the puck here, which was given to me by the coaching staff, my teammates, to commemorate this. So this will have a place of honor right there and as part of the SLC Puck studios. And yeah, really big thanks to that to everybody who made that happen. We had a huge surge this last week to get there, so that was really, really fun. And I did get a little bit emotional kind of seeing that number roll in. And I was so terrified we weren't going to get it because I got to 999, and then I think someone was screwing with me at that point. They unsubscribed, so I went down to 997. And I was just worried we were going to progressively go down until we hit 0. I don't know. That's just the state of paranoia that I live in. But hey, again, really appreciate you guys for your support. If you want to support the show even further, which I would recommend, I would head over to slcpuck.shop. A lot of great stuff. I've got the heavy hitters here on my merch shop here. The Crown Burger stuff is awesome. Hoodies, probably don't need one of those, but you can get this mythical snow creature tank for summertime, which would be a good look, and pair that with an SLC Puck ball hat, and you'll have a good thing going for the BBQs, which will be coming up here pretty soon. Again, super nice day here in the Salt Lake Valley, but it's also a really good day because the Utah Hockey Club got back to winning ways with a big win over the Winnipeg Jets, the first place Winnipeg Jets. I would say they didn't play like the first place Winnipeg Jets. I'll tell you that. Utah wiped the floor with them, wiped the ice with them like a Zamboni would, with a 4-1 victory. Power play was cooking. We saw a really nice goal by Kevin Stenlund as well. A nice little snipe on Connor Hellebuck. Pair that with 32 saves by Karel Vejmelka, and you had one of those terrific Utah Hockey Club performances. But since last we spoke, we also saw a result not go Utah's way, and it kind of plays into what we're going to talk about. Utah Hockey Club not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs yet. It's getting close. They're staying alive, though, as the BG boys would say. Staying alive, staying alive. By the way, I can't believe that's a male voice that sung that song. That's pretty amazing, right? I don't know. I can't hit that falsetto, so I don't know how that gentleman in whatever year that was, 1970, made that, but really impressive. But yeah, Utah Hockey Club staying alive, but it's getting pretty tight. What didn't help was Thursday's result, a 4-2 loss to the Los Angeles Kings, which drove me crazy. As someone who's spent a lot of time in Southern California in my life, they're very pretentious people. They're not hardworking, they're not enterprising, they're not entrepreneurs like we are here in Utah. They have made up jobs. They go to Sweet Greens twice a week. They're vegan. They're gaunt. They're unhealthy, and that's not a hockey town. Utah's a hockey town, but unfortunately, the loss did come in Utah at the Delta Center. Really, really kind of a bummer. Utah dominated the first half of that game through the first period, and then quite a bit into the second. I thought Utah controlled the pace big time. I had the opportunity to cover all three games to start this homestand for KSL.com. So make sure you head over there to check out some more great stuff from Ryan Miller, who does a terrific job. And there's also some articles in there. And I'll go over a couple of those here in just a second. But that Thursday result, man, that sucked. I mean, Utah really did dominate the first half of that game. But then they went to 4-on-4, little offsetting penalties there. Interesting situation. And Los Angeles dominated. I think they scored 2 goals within a minute during that stretch in that situation to take a 3-1 lead. Utah pulled their goalie in hopes of getting their first 6-on-5 goal of the season. So far this year, they are the only team in the NHL to not score a goal with an extra attacker. And I wrote this article for KSL.com, and I asked Andre Turney about it after the game. And admittedly, I picked a bad time to ask him about the game. I could tell he was like a little annoyed, like, so why'd you pull the goalie? And he was like, well, to win. And he's right. And, the timing on my part was not great. So, hey, lesson learned there. But there's, it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. I know that's something that a lot of people have talked about when it comes to this situation. Like, why do they continue to do it? Well, the answer is because there's not a difference between losing 3-1 and 4-1. You still don't pick up 2 points in either decision. But you figure you give yourself a better chance to score with that extra attacker. That 3-1 lead becomes a 3-2 lead. You pull your goalie again, try to get another. And while the odds are small, right, it still gives you a better chance to tie the game up and perhaps eventually get a win. We saw that work against Utah this year. The example that came to my mind when I was writing the story was the Minnesota game, which was, I believe, about January, maybe December. It was either January or December, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, so forgive me. But they played Minnesota on the road. Utah was leading 4-3 at the end of the game, but Marco Rossi scored a goal with an extra attacker out there as well to tie the game up with less than a minute remaining. Minnesota went on to win that one in a shootout, so that's why Utah's seen that work against them. And I kind of thought maybe, we could set the stage for what could be a really dramatic goal, to come here in maybe game 77, maybe game 78, right? They get the extra attacker. They need a goal to stay alive. Utah must win out to have a chance of making the playoffs. I can just show you right here. Like again, moneypuck.com, please send me a check. I think I've earned it with all the traffic I've been sending your way. But the playoff odds suggest that, oh my gosh, see, it's so infinitesimal at this point that they've reduced Utah's odds to 0. I don't think it's 0. I think it's a little bit above that, but you round down and it's effectively 0. But I was just talking with some other members of the hockey media. They're not technically mathematically eliminated. And let me just double check this because this changed here in just a minute. Nope, they're not. They don't have an E next to their name in the NHL standings right here quite yet. So they haven't been eliminated, but it is getting close. They have to win. And what needs to happen for Utah, and we just talked about Minnesota. We need to start actively rooting against Minnesota, against the state of hockey, against the Wild. And I'll just present this situation. I hope you guys are following this. I know I'm kind of jumping around on quite a few topics. Just to recap, Kings loss sucked. Jets win, great, right? But keep the train rolling. Utah's got to win. They're not eliminated yet as of the moment of this recording at 5:12 p.m. on Sunday, April 6th. But again, here's the situation, right? So we're looking at the standings here, and we'll just pull this over to the wild card standings here on ESPN. And I always say this, if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, switch over to YouTube. You'll see all the visual fun that goes on at SLC Puck Studios. But you can see here the wild card, right? So Utah is still in the race. They don't have an E for eliminated next to them. But consider this, right? So 77 games played, 82 points possible. Utah needs to pass all these teams in front of them to make it into the playoffs. Now, with 5 games remaining, 2 points available in each game, the maximum amount of points that Utah can get is 92, right? And if you look at one of the teams they need to pass right up here in that second wild card position, the Minnesota Wild, they currently have 91 points with 78 games played. So they have 4 games left. If Minnesota registers one more point or one more win, it'll be out of reach for Utah at 92 points. So if Minnesota gets to 93, Utah's out. So that means what we need to do, guys, this is what I'm proposing, and this sounds insane, but what we need to do is become San Jose Sharks fans this week, because looking at Minnesota's schedule, and I'll just pull it up right here, their next game is Wednesday against the San Jose Sharks. So what I suggest, and if this is what I would do if I were me, and I am me, I would get your childhood San Jose Sharks jersey, which is a boy's large and may or may not fit, and I would put it on, and I would cheer for the Sharks this week because we need a victory by San Jose, and then a victory by Calgary, and then a victory by Vancouver, and then another one by Anaheim, right, to finish the year, to keep Minnesota from winning. So again, go to your closet. If you have a jersey that fit you when you were 8 years old, yeah, it's very snugly like a glove, I'd recommend pulling that bad girl out, telling everybody that you're a Sharks fan through Wednesday. And then again, Friday, you're a Flames fan, okay? Saturday, you're a Canucks fan. And then the next Tuesday, the 15th, you're a Ducks fan, okay? And you know what's funny? I think I probably have jerseys for all of those teams, maybe with the exception of the Vancouver Canucks. But this situation holds for all the other teams that Utah has to pass as well. Again, remember, Utah, their maximum amount of points they'll be able to reach is 92. Should any of the other teams in front of them get to 93, which is very possible, right? It's more than likely could happen. I'm trying to be positive here, folks. All right, Utah is still alive. It's faint. It's really small. It's really small. You can barely hear it, but there's a little heartbeat left in the Utah Hockey Club's playoff hopes. But again, cheer for whoever is playing against Minnesota. Cheer for whoever is playing against Calgary. Cheer for whoever's playing against Vancouver, right? That's what kind of has to happen here. There's a lot that's out of Utah's control. What they need to do is just take things game by game, get 2 points every single time they're out for the next 5 games, and that'll give them a chance, right? But again, should Minnesota win just one of their last 4 games, that'll effectively knock Utah out of the playoffs. So go Sharks, go. That's what I say. I need to take this jersey off because it's skin tight and it's restricting my breathing a little bit. Again, I think this fit me when I was 9 years old. So getting it off is going to be a struggle. Hey guys, so sorry. I wouldn't interrupt the show if it wasn't something incredibly important that you should definitely do right now. There's a QR code right here that you need to scan. It's going to send a pre-sent message to your phone. Hit send on that bad girl. Send it to that number. You know why? Because it's going to put you in a raffle for a $250 gift card from our good friends at Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers or Jonathan's Jewelry. You can get this gift card, go to either location, get some unbelievable stuff. Maybe you screwed up. Maybe you made someone mad. Someone you shouldn't have. A good way to say sorry. Getting some jewelry from Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers or Jonathan's Jewelry. Or hey, maybe you're in love. Maybe you're getting ready to pop the Q. That can be expensive. I wouldn't know. I'm not married. I just can imagine it's very expensive. It would probably be pretty nice to knock $250 off of your purchase, right? So all you got to do, scan the QR code, hit send. You're in the raffle. We've been giving out these gift cards for every episode of SLC Puck since February. I don't know how these guys can do it, but they're doing it, and they're doing it for listeners of SLC Puck. And as a special treat for everybody who listens to SLC Puck, you go in either one of those locations, Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers at Trolley Square or Jonathan's Jewelry up there, Cottonwood Heights, and just mention SLC Puck. They'll knock $100 off of your purchase. It's easy. That's all you got to do. But it's almost as easy as just scanning this QR code and hitting send on the message. So just do it. And we appreciate Jonathan's Jewelry and Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers for their support of SLC Puck. And let's get back to the show. Oh, we got it. Wow. Okay. Awesome. So anyway, I mean, and here's what's great. If you want to enjoy these games, especially Utah's next 2 games, which will be their last 2 home games of the season, I'll add, Tuesday playing the Kraken, the Seattle Kraken at Delta Center. And then Thursday, the home finale will be against the Nashville Predators. Guess what? Nashcast. Those are both Nashcast games. I'll be on with my good buddy Tyson Nash. We have a great couple of shows lined up for you. We also have some a big announcement that I think we're going to make perhaps on Thursday about the future of Nashcast. So really excited about that and really appreciative of Smith Entertainment Group for their trust in us. It's unfounded, I would say. It's a little absurd that they continue to pour resources into our fun little show. And I'm kidding. It is a fantastic show, just to be clear. Like, the guests are awesome. It's lighthearted. It's fun. You know, here's what I've come to realize. Just getting to know Tyson more and just watching the show evolve. The show really has taken on the personality of the people involved with it. And I think that is very reflective of who Tyson is as a dude. I mean, he has a reputation of being the most hated guy in the NHL when he was playing. That was a title that he proudly held. He's also a very funny, fun-loving dude. He's hysterical. He's really funny. He's got a soft spot to him too. That's the kind of the fun thing that I've keyed into is while getting to talk to a lot of these like unbelievable hockey legends. And just to recap a few of the names we've had on our show: Jeremy Roenick, Ray Whitney, Stu Grimson, Paul Bissonnette. We had Ryan Smith. We had Gary Bettman. We had Mike Commodore. We had basketball guys like Greg Ostertag. We had Kelly Chase. Ooh, yeah, big shout out to Kelly Chase, who is battling cancer. They had the Puck Cancer event out there in St. Louis on Friday night. So Kelly Chase and a lot of his former teammates with the St. Louis Blues and then the Blackhawks alumni team as well played a game out there at St. Louis and raised, I think, about $600,000 towards cancer research. So, and Kelly was, gosh, such a truly incredible guy, and I feel so lucky we had him in studio with us. We've also had Robert Bertuzzo from the Utah Hockey Club, Spicy Tuna, Liam O'Brien. That's just to name a few. Chris Grenier, who does Bombhole podcast. Dylan Gunther's been on as well. I mean, I so many people. I had to have like my studio audience remind me who had been on the show just to recap it all. But we're gonna finish strong again. 2 shows on Tuesday and Thursday, and then a big announcement about the future of Nashcast. So really excited about that. And it's if you want to see it, it's easy. All you got to do is subscribe to SEG Plus or Utah Hockey Club Plus. Just 99 cents to finish off the year, and you'll get the rest of Utah Hockey Club action. 5 more games for the Utah Hockey Club, and they're all Game 7s. They're all must wins, and a big part of what's going to be this last playoff push. The stars, the superstars, got to be the dudes. Dudes got to be the dudes. It's been really great to see the whole team rally together. I think we've seen like a lot of the guys like more in the depth sort of part of the lineup, right? The third and the fourth lines. Guys like Kevin Stenlund, guys like Nick Bjugstad, guys like Lawson Krause, like play really well over the last stretch. But to me, like the dudes who make the whole engine churn, there's 2. There's really 2. One is Karel Vejmelka, who is going, as long as Utah is still in it, until they have that E next to their name, they are going to ride him out. He's going to be the starting goaltender again, I would imagine, on Tuesday. It's so interesting to hear Andre Tourigny explain the choice to have Karel Vejmelka make 20 straight starts, which is kind of a rarity in today's NHL. He's like, listen, fellas, listen, media members, grubby, disgusting media members. Here's the dizzle. If we're going to make a Stanley Cup run one of these days, Karel's got to be ready to go. He's got to be ready to play 25 straight games. That's how we're going to win a Stanley Cup. It's great practice. I do think eventually the Utah Hockey Club, not even eventually, but probably the next year or 2, Utah Hockey Club is going to find themselves in the playoffs. And who knows how long that'll be. I hope it's a nice long ride that culminates with a championship parade down State Street. You'll see me dancing on top of the Harmons, doing my thing. I'll get a great spot there. Maybe I'll go stake it out now just in preparation for the 2026 victory parade. But, leading up to that, Karel Vejmelka might have to start 20, 25 games to get there in the postseason. So as Andre Tourigny explained, this is good practice, right? This is what we're working towards that. And he's locked up for a 5-year contract. He may be a big part of a big push for a Stanley Cup, right? So they're getting their reps in. I think that's a big takeaway. But the other guy who makes the wheels churn, the guy who pushes this thing over the line, is the captain, is Clayton Keller. He leads the team in scoring. I believe he's now tied for the team lead in goals with Dylan Gunther. He leads the team in assists by a considerable margin. Put those 2 together, he's the team's leader in total points. He is working his way towards a career year in most categories. I don't think this is going to be his career year in goals, but he reached a very impressive milestone. And milestones kind of been like the topic of discussion this week, right? So we had Clayton Keller reaching 500 career points in the game against Winnipeg on Saturday. And so funny to hear Keller talk about this in the locker room. He was very humble. Kells is like a very humble, kind of understated guy. He doesn't talk about, he's not Jeremy Roenick, let's put it that way. But he was talking to us in the locker room. He's like, I didn't even know, I just, it's great. I'm really appreciative of all the people who made sacrifices to get there. His coach, Andre Tourigny, had a really terrific quote on him as well. I'll just read my story. I'm looking at the story that I wrote for KSL.com right now. And if you scroll down a little bit, we can say right here, Andre Tourigny said of Keller, we've been through a lot. We started from the bottom and we've improved. Started from the bottom, man, I'm here. That's a Drake song, by the way. And we've improved. But where I'm most proud of him is as a human being. He's always been a good teammate, but now he's the captain and he's great. The way he can take the good and the bad and make the best of it, learn from his mistakes, always a student. He's the kind of guy who will send me a text or an article or video from another sport or another team and always wants to learn. So he's becoming a great man. And that's strong words from your coach. I totally believe it. I mean, they wouldn't pick Clayton Keller to be the captain if that wasn't the case, right? They talked about this at the start of the year when they were, floating out the idea of who Utah's first captain would be. They're like, we wanted to be an obvious choice. And you can assume since they made a choice that it was an obvious one, that Keller is respected by his teammates, commands the room. I've read he's got a little bit of like Michael Jordan energy, right? So he expects a lot out of people, expects a lot out of himself, and Michael Jordan won some. Michael Jordan did pretty good. I don't know if you folks in Utah know this about Michael Jordan, but he had a pretty good basketball career. I'm joking. Of course, we all know about that. He pushed off, by the way. Anyway, so, I mean, terrific there. Another big milestone that happened earlier this afternoon. And again, so many great milestones, right? Alexander Ovechkin surpassed Wayne Gretzky's mark. Alexander Ovechkin with 895 career goals, the all-time leader in goals in the NHL. Really incredible moment. He got the record in Long Island, they say on Long Island, don't they? I don't know why that is. They say on Long Island, not in Long Island. But playing against the Islanders today, he could have gotten the record the other night at home, but he, with 2 goals in the game and 1 goal to go to break the record with the record tied, he elected to not go on the ice with the goalie pulled just because, you know, for the sake of the record, for the integrity of the record, for the cool factor of it, I guess you could say. Didn't want the record-breaking goal to come on an empty net. So, unfortunately, Capitals fans weren't treated to what could have been a truly magical moment at home. But Ovechkin scored the goal today. Watched that on TV. It was a really, really incredible sight. Although Ovechkin was on the road, seemed like there were plenty of Capitals fans there in attendance. A standing ovation from everyone there at that arena out there on Long Island. And I'll say this, like it was such a incredible historical thing, like a record that we might not see broken for a long, long time. I think Gretzky held the record for about 31 years. I'm not sure like what kind of pace some of the active younger guys in the NHL are going to have to, you know, get to even have a chance. I think like maybe like Austin Matthews is someone you could think about as possibly having a chance. He'll need to maintain that longevity into his career the same way Ovechkin did. And here, to go on a tangent. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I go on tangents on this show. What I like about Ovechkin is he kind of throws out the notion that to be an elite athlete, you need to like eat a lot of protein and like really, you know, get a nutritionist. The dude loves beer. The dude loves Cheetos. The dude loves candy. And at like 39 years old, he's going to score 45 goals this season. He's going to get to the 900 career goal mark. And if he continues to play, gosh, who knows? Like if he plays another 2-3 years, and I don't know if he could or would or even would be interested to, at this pace, he could conceivably get 1,000 goals, right? That's not going to happen. That sounds ridiculous to say. There's only one of us that can reach 1,000, baby. It's me right here. I really view my subscribers, every time I get a subscriber, that's me scoring a goal. So, you know, am I going to do the belly flop and celebrate? No, I'm not. There's no room here. But if there were, maybe I would. And again, super appreciative of you guys for doing that. But here's what made the Ovechkin moment really good. And thank you for following following with me through about 4 different tangents. But it was really cool that Gretzky was there for that, to help Ovechkin celebrate the occasion. As the story goes, when Gretzky broke Gordie Howe's record of, I think it was 801, 802, something like that. Gordie Howe did the same thing for him. He followed him around from game to game, you know, to be there on hand to congratulate him for breaking the record. So Gretzky repaying the favor, paying it forward to Ovechkin, was following him around. And I thought the graciousness and the appreciation and there's no better word for it. It was very graceful of Gretzky to be there and to congratulate Ovechkin and his wife and his family and to address the fans in Long Island. He did that so graciously as well. He's the gracious one. He's not just the great one. He's the gracious one. And I think having him there to do that made it a really, really special moment. So terrific day in the history of sports, not just of hockey. I think of all of sports. It's a really, really incredible moment. And it just makes me feel so lucky that we here in Utah are involved with the hockey scene now in a huge, big way. This is a season that's going to be remembered for a long time for a lot of reasons, right? Obviously here locally, we're going to remember this season as, you know, our inaugural year. We skated as the Utah Hockey Club. You know, might be a different name next year, right? But, you know, and not only that, we saw so many greats play their first game ever in Salt Lake City at Delta Center. And guess who's one of them? Alexander Ovechkin, who scored 2 goals against the Utah Hockey Club when he was here. He also got injured in that same game, missed 16 games, came back and continued to go on that torrid pace to break the record. So we're a little footnote in history there, right there in Utah. So very fun, very, very cool, and very special. And again, on the theme of milestones, I think the biggest milestone of all this week was probably SLC Puck surpassing 1,000 subs. So again, super grateful for those of you who do subscribe to SLC Puck. If you don't already, I would please encourage you to. I'm also incredibly grateful to Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers and Jonathan's Jewelry, who supports the show. So make sure you sign this QR code, or scan it, scan it, hit send on the message to enter into the raffle. Obviously there's an ad playing for that as well. Also really appreciate the support I've gotten from Brick's Corner for a watch party, and Bar Named Sue's, where we'll be having another watch party on the 14th for the penultimate game of the season against the Nashville Predators. So that's going to be Monday the 14th at 6 p.m. Again, really appreciative of you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing to SLC Puck. I'm not sure if I've said this on the show yet, but this is my full-time job now. This is like what I do to try to scrape together a living. And so all these, when you subscribe, when you comment, when you share the video, that makes a huge difference to me. And so it's really appreciated. And I just like to do the show. It's fun. It's something I enjoy. I think we have a chance to do something special here year after year. So again, really, really appreciate that. I want to just play a little something. This is my favorite song. I know the fellas in the locker room are into Sammy Adams, and I'm into Sammy Adams as well. So just as my way of saying thank you, let me just say thank you! Thank you so much! Thank you. We did it. Let's keep it rolling, guys. We'll be back. Nashcast on Tuesday. SEG Plus, Utah Hockey Club Plus. We'll be with you on Wednesday for a midweek show. Oh, and don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. And we'll talk soon. Thanks.
Type of dude probably drink too much. I hate to admit, but even when I'm sober, if I see you once, it's still that good. So feel so good till I see.